Hi everyone, this is audap. It's a classic Sunday, so let's start up our game of Phantasy Star 4, End of the Millennium. This is running on the well, no, that's Genesis in North America, but the Mega Drive pretty much everywhere else. So, yeah. Okay, I'll start this guy. Chaz, we have work to do. Hurry up and get ready. This is your first job since you joined the Hunters Guild. You'd better put your heart into it. So, I'm not a trainee anymore? From this day on, you are a full-fledged partner. Now, come on, let's go. Where are we off to this time? It's a bit far. We're going to the Matavia Academy in the town of Piata. Wow, so we're going to the town of learning. I wonder what's happening there. Who knows? The message said, just come. We'll get the details once we're there. Since we're going to be there anyway, I'd sure like to tour the academy. Is that all you can think about? Get moving, or I'll leave you behind. AW-2284. Monster attacks have swelled the ranks of those who call themselves hunters, but as the attacks become ever more frequent and powerful, an elite few begin to wonder what is behind this outbreak, and when and how will it all end. Oops, I wandered around and now I've gotten separated from Alice. I've got to find her. One of these is... There we go. Are you a hunter? Are you here to exterminate the monsters? Are you... I thought they said different stuff, no? Maybe not. About a month ago, monsters began to appear in the basement, so I'm frightened. I can't even think about my research. You're the hunter commissioned by the principal? A kid like you? Are you going to be able to handle it? Chaz, where have you been? Come on, let's go. But we have to see the principal and get the details about this commission. Welcome. I'm the principal of this academy. Let's see, you must be Alice the Hunter. And you are her assistant, Chaz. Forgive me, but Chaz is a full-fledged partner of mine. Now, let's get down to business. Describe the situation. About a month ago, mysterious monsters started to appear within this academy. It appears that they have made the basement their headquarters. I've since closed it off. So far, no one's been hurt, but who knows when they'll appear. Again. Please, I beg you to destroy all those creatures. I'd like to settle this matter discreetly. I'm counting on your reputation, Alice. No problem. You can rely on us. Although it's strange that all these monsters suddenly appeared in this academy. Usually monsters don't come into inhabited areas. Do you have any idea how this happened? How would I know? Stop asking questions. Just hurry and exterminate those monsters. Don't forget, I'm paying you dearly for your services. Something smells fishy here. The principal is hiding something. Maybe he's afraid of the monsters. I think there's more to it than that. Things are starting to get interesting. If you're looking for the principal's room, it's way in the back. But recently he's been acting strangely. I think he's scared of something. Here at Matavia Academy, we search for the truth of the universe. This is the largest research facility on the entire planet. What do you think? Isn't it grand? It looks like an interesting place, doesn't it, Alice? Really? It doesn't interest me one bit. So wait, now there's something here. Once there were 3 planets in the Alco star system, but during the Great Collapse, the planet Parma was lost. Now only Dazulus and this planet remain. Apparently, 1,000 years ago, there were ships that could travel through space. Today, the only thing we can do is view Dazulus through a telescope. Just once I would love to go to Dazulus. It sounds like a dream, traveling to another planet. Huh? Do I know you? Yikes! What are you doing with such lethal weapons? Get out! How rude. I'm studying history. This planet has bad problems from the beginning. Presently, we have an abnormal climate, soil depletion, and a decreasing birth rate. It doesn't make for a promising future. The sky is too depressing. Let's get out of here. The god of learning, Dr. Lubez. Or Dr. Lupitz. A person from 2,000 years ago. What? You're the hunters? Really? You don't think we can do the job? No, not at all. I didn't mean that. Since we have the principal's permission, let us pass. Wait, take me with you. And why should we? My name is Han. I'm an assistant at this academy. I work for Professor Holt, who has gone to investigate Birth Valley for his research. We haven't heard from him since, so now I'm searching for the professor's whereabouts. Birth Valley? That's a mysterious place that has been called the Sacred Valley of Life. But what's the connection between the valley and this current monster scare? After the investigation team, led by the professor, was reported missing, the principal barred everyone from entering Birth Valley. We're trying to get information as to what's going on, but he keeps evading the issue. And then this monster scare begins. I'll bet anything that there's some sort of connection between these incidents. Well, it's true that there is something fishy about the principal's behavior. Given the circumstances, I feel compelled to investigate the basement myself. But come to think of it, it is a bit dangerous. So, you're just waiting for us to arrive? Well, yes. You catch on quick. 100 Meseta. What? We'll take you with us for 100 Meseta. I hope you weren't thinking of asking to tag along with us for free. I can't get that kind of money from the principal. That's not my problem. Now, what are you gonna do? Okay, I'll pay. So scared of the monsters, there's nothing I'd like more than to get out of here, but since the principal feigns ignorance before the citizens, we've got to stay quiet. Well, you're certainly trying hard to keep up appearances. 1,000 years ago, our society was thrown into confusion by the destruction of Mother Brain. After that, Motavia sustained a direct hit by a fragment of the exploding planet Parma. Our civilization was almost destroyed. We call this the Great Collapse. Oh, I didn't realize you weren't students. For the last year, there have been violent changes in the planet's crust, as well as an abnormal outbreak of monsters. At this rate, the planet will be doomed. Hey, it's not going to do any good just moaning about it. Monomate. Look at all this dust. I can't read the titles on these books. Antidote. Okay, it's just the same thing. Just checking. Yeah, unfortunately, the series, I mean, for better or for worse, it's just known for a lot of grinding. I mean, there are a lot of random battles in this series, really from day one. From the original game, the original game on the Master System, definitely to Phantasy Star 2, which just had so much grinding and so little story. But at the time was revolutionary. And I think this one has like the best balance overall. Like the fights are real fast. It's not every other step that you have to engage in a fight. There's still like a bit of grinding, more than I'd like in a normal game. But there are plenty of people out there that like the grinding, and it was a fairly normal thing in a Japanese RPG to have these random encounters and have a fair amount of grinding, to kind of sort of pad out the gameplay. So some people may not even bat an eye to the amount of fighting that you have to do and the amount of grinding. But I always avoided the series. Especially 3. Phantasy Star 3 was just the whole game moved so incredibly slow. Like you're walking in molasses. And included, tons and tons of fighting and tons of grinding. What's this? What is this? We did it! Chaz, you need more practice. Your swing is too slow. What? But we destroyed the monster. With my help. Sorry. Now, Han, come over here. What? Or what? What are these glass containers for? These? Hey, are you by any chance breeding monsters here? If that's the case, this monster business is no mystery after all. I don't know anything. It's the first time I've been in this room. I've only just learned that such a thing exists at the academy. Really, it's the truth. I believe you, for now. The principal must know about these containers. He must also know that the connection between this and the disappearance of the Professor Holt. Yes, let's see the principal again. Come on, Chaz. Hey, don't leave me here. What's wrong? You seem upset. Were you able to defeat those monsters? Yes, but there is something I want to ask you. What? It's just my imagination that I saw some strange things in the basement. Stop being around the bush. Someone keeping information from me is the sixth most dangerous thing in this world. Alright already. I'll tell you what I know. You are aware of the recent outbreak of a new breed of monster. Oh yes, thanks to the outbreak I'm not hurting for work. 3 months ago, Holt identified Birth Valley as the origin of the outbreak, and he went to investigate. He says he discovered the remains of an ancient and advanced civilization. The investigation team brought back the monster breeding capsules and immediately set forth on their second investigative mission, but not one of them came back. Yes, that's right, Han. And despite all this, you didn't send out a rescue team and banned entry to Birth Valley? No. I was trying to send out a rescue team, but something happened? At that moment, a man who called himself Zio appeared before my eyes. Zio? I've heard of him, that fake magician. Ah, my dear principal of Matavia Academy. How are you doing? Who are you? My name is Zio the Black Magician. Do not intrude on Birth Valley. What do you mean? In the future, if you ever let anyone set foot in Birth Valley. Ah! Let me make something clear. There is no need for you to go to Birth Valley. It's related to the research team. So, that's why the Birth Valley situation wasn't announced. And also why you tried to keep a lid on the monster situation. But what is this all about? Remains of an ancient advanced civilization in Zio? It seems like these are signs of something to come. I need to help the professor. I'm going to Birth Valley. Psst, Han. This is egg-laying season for sandworms, so be careful. Alice? We'll tag along for 300 Meseta plus expenses. Deal. Birth Valley is to the northeast. Let's hurry. Now that I look back, I wonder if there was some connection between that parcel and the monsters. These are the student dorms of Motavia Academy. Me? I'm the caretaker. I've got a report due tomorrow, but I haven't written a word of it. It's so much fun lazing around than going to class. It's not nice to open cabinets in other people's houses without their permission. Who said we were nice? The girl next door has been influenced by some strange religion. She's been missing for a while. Where did she go? Hey, I'm undressing. Get out! Get out! What's with you guys? You're being way too friendly. I heard some students jumped into this fountain the other day. I can't believe I missed all the fun. Gee, you should take a dip. It'll do you good. What an impressive fountain. Ugh, definitely not fond of this BGM. Got a real harsh sound to it. Welcome, this is the inn. 15 Meseta. Yeah, let's do it. Thank you very much. Please come again. Save. I know, only 3 save files. I'm stingy. Stingy for a $100 game. Or it was $100 when it came out. Welcome, this is the tool store. I don't know, yes, we'll have to buy some. Or at least it'd be a good idea. My parents live in Mile, a village northeast of here. Recently, I haven't been getting my allowance. I wonder if they've forgotten me. Oh well, I better find a job. Becoming a hunter. Now that sounds exciting. I heard those monsters were conquered by some hunters whose names I've forgotten. Yeah, good information, thank you. The academy students are so noisy day in and day out. Like the other day when a group of them jumped into that fountain. What a scene. Don't they think about being considerate to others? I wish something could be done about them. Okay, Velma. Apparently the monsters aren't appearing in town anymore. Thank goodness for that. Now I can let my children go out to play. Now that no monsters come out, it's no fun to sneak out in the middle of the night. No. Yeah, of course not. This is the village of Mile, and this is our newly built sandworm ranch. What do you think? Isn't it great? This will attract a lot of tourists. Really? I don't think so. Did you see the quicksand? It's spreading and it's spreading. How long is this town going to last? In the past, the land around here was fertile and wealthy. There was a lot of farming going on. But now the wells and fields have all withered away. See that castle beyond the quicksand? I could have sworn that one night there was nothing, and the next day there it was. It must have been my imagination, don't you think? I'm studying so that I can enroll in Watavia Academy. Hey, stop bothering me. Kids. Actually, we wanted to keep him... We wanted him to keep the family farm going, but with the fields in such a state, I suppose there's no use. It's a well, but it's dry. Our only son is enrolled in the Watavia Academy, but recently we've had a series of bad harvests and we haven't been able to send his allowance. We've been so worried whether he has enough to eat. Whatever field we try to cultivate, the soil just becomes infertile. Welcome to the weapon store. Daggers, hunting knives, steel sword, boomerang, slasher. Okay, what does she have? Leather crown, boomerang, leather cloth. Leather helm, hunting knife, leather cloth, leather band, dagger, leather shield, leather cloth. Yeah, you can use a steel sword. Nothing really exciting here. You're looking for Birth Valley? Then go to a village called Zema. Zema is northeast of here, but recently it's been rumored that there's no sign of any people. Maybe they all fled at night? I heard that Zema has been destroyed. Someone must go and make sure. I am too busy, so I can't go. I sweep and I sweep, but the sand keeps blowing. I'm sick and tired of this. It's said a strange religion is becoming popular. They say it's being spread by a man dressed in black. What did they say his name was? Oh yes, Zio. Yeah, I believe they said his name was Zio. they've been turned into stone. Hammers turned to stone. You can't open people's cabinets. It's locked from the inside. And lock. Birth Valley. Oh, I need to make some coffee. Super tired for some reason. Carbon shield. Console, they can use it. Monolite. Eesh, that one did a lot of damage. Carbon suits. Turn to stone. Oh, Professor Holt. What on earth? An ancient curse? I can't believe someone is able to cast such a spell in this day and age. Isn't there any way to restore them? I've heard that a medicine called Alshline is able to turn stone back to flesh. Where can we find it? I heard about it some time ago in a Motavian village, but we're talking some time ago. Which Motavian village? It's the village of Molcom, which is far south of here. Alright then, let's get going. Let's see, if you're going to Molcom, I'll make you a deal. Just sip 500 Meseta. You devil. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, we may turn on some game GD cheats to speed the game along. Later on, I think this first part is fine. I think the pacing is fine, but yeah, at some point in time, there's going to be a fair amount of grinding, which is usually where I stop playing. So I would like to someday get all the way through this, but we might have to flip the game G on in order to make it more palatable. It's just a pain in the ass to punch all those codes in. Ah, yes, the Locusta. I fought many of those Locustas in Phantasy Star. Phantasy Star Online. It's amazing how that very first Phantasy Star Online, really preserved the art and the enemies and the animation so well. It made such a really good leap to 3D, and also drastically changed the gameplay. I mean, Phantasy Star is now an online RPG, really because of that game. Isn't the other town here? We need to probably make a rest stop at the other town. And it's okay to wander around a little bit and grind a bit, since the next group of enemies I think is going to be significantly tougher. I will say with this game, you can definitely feel like when they've added a wall to the experience level. It's the same way with the Final Fantasy series of this era. All of a sudden you'd be wandering around and then the monsters would just become incredibly hard as soon as you got into a new area. Letting you know that, hey, go out and fight some more. Maybe upgrade your equipment, buy new equipment. Also, the thing about that was the thing that was nice in this era of gaming is that almost everything was running at 59 hertz. Interlaced image. So the technology was a little different, but you were almost always guaranteed very, very smooth scrolling. And it was the rarity when smooth scrolling and a poor refresh would happen. Whereas now, I mean, there's not really a guarantee of any of that. Even on incredibly high budget productions, sometimes you get tearing, and sometimes you get very, very poor performance. Well, things didn't work out too well for Molcom. Rune? Hey, Alice. Long time no see. Alice, you know this guy? From a long time ago. Is Shorty here your current companion? He's still a kid. Hey, watch what you say. Stop it, you two. More importantly, Rune, what's going on? This is all the handiwork of Zio. Zio. I bet the person who turned the people of Zema into stone is also... Well, your brain seems to work a little bit. You... Cut it out. It seems that everywhere we go, it's always Zio. Who is this Zio? I'm not sure. With the town destroyed, how are we going to find Alschlein? You're looking for Alschlein? In that case, you'd better go to Tonoe. Tonoe? Let's see, from here, it's kind of far. First, travel east to the village of Krupp. And from there, if you go north, you'll find a valley that leads to Tonoe. We don't have to pass by Krupp, do we? Why? Let's just head straight towards Tonoe. Alice? I haven't decided yet. I'm going to invite myself to join your group. I've got some business there, too. Not so fast. We'd enjoy your company. Alice. Good. We're all set. And Shorty, try not to get in the way. Stop calling me Shorty. My name is... Chaz. That's what you said your name was, right? What a stupid name. Alice, I think he's going to be more trouble than he's worth. I won't get in anyone's way. You already have. I'm a little uneasy about our destination. And the party grows. This is what's cool about Phantasy Star, is that the parties are generally larger. You know, Final Fantasy started off, at least since the Super Nintendo, and I guess Final Fantasy 3 with 5 party members, and then slowly it became 4 party members, and in current iterations of Final Fantasy, it's always 3 party members. And the newest Final Fantasy, 2023, that'll be released this year, is 1 party member. At some point in time, it'll just be no party members, and there'll only be movies, I think. Though, to be fair, this Final Fantasy 16 is an action game, so it wouldn't make sense to have multiple party members. But it is funny to see the the evolution of Final Fantasy party members go from get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, 15 had 4 party members most of the time. Yeah, and I would like to revisit 15 again, now that the PlayStation 5 is out and you can run the game at a decent frame rate. But yeah, at the time it was kind of a painful game to play. Oh, do I have... That's right, Alice can't use techniques. I don't know if I have... I don't know if I have anything to restore on. Let's see, Malcolm wasn't good. Zema wasn't good. Miles, the last place that we can go. I don't think this game has temples, so I don't think we need to use a temple to restore somebody. I think just staying at an inn will do it. Yeah, it used to be you always had to find a temple to resurrect a party member. in the older days of Phantasy Star. Yeah, the Phantasy Star is very. I mean, the systems are closer to D&D, in that you have relatively few HP and TP, or for casting magic. Where Final Fantasy was a lot more generous in its point distribution, which is why I tended to gravitate towards Final Fantasy. It just seemed like if you had a magician, they had more magic, and it was more practical to be a magic caster. Whereas these games, even your magic casters have to do physical attacks all the time because they just don't have enough TP. To make using magic practical, except for very special encounters. All stems from the dice rolling days. You only have so many sided dice, and you couldn't have. At least, in a practical sense, you couldn't have too many hit points and too many damage points. And lower numbers were always stronger, more valuable than higher numbers. So, console RPG certainly turned that on its head. And eventually computer RPGs as well. Yeah, the music and sound effects have always been top-notch in the Phantasy Star series. I mean, the original Phantasy Star is a little hard to listen to, but they did release that anniversary edition on like Switch and PS4, which made the game a lot more playable. Which is the way I think people should play the original Phantasy Star, is that way. Versus trying to, emulate or find a master system to play that game. In these games, I don't think there's been a modern package so far where the emulation of the Mega Drive has been good. Sega released their Sega Classics on a couple different platforms and the PC, and that emulation is not satisfactory. So, if you want to play this game on that platform, I really wouldn't suggest it. I don't think the experience is very good. So you're kind of left with, maybe hardware emulation with like an FPGA, one of those kind of systems, or emulation on your PC, which can, handle it pretty well. But unfortunately, there's no retail package as of right now available on our current system that really supports a good Mega Drive experience. Unless it's something from M2 where they do like a specific game, not necessarily an entire platform. I was really hoping M2 would do all the Phantasy Star games, since they did Phantasy Star 1. But, maybe there's no demand. And plus it interferes with the, the Sonic Mega Collection. So I don't imagine we'll be seeing that, that anytime soon. Personally, I really like the Mister, although at this point in time it's almost as much as a new console to buy a Mister. I think the last time I looked at the Mister to buy to kind of get all the components and get a bundle was like $600, which is $100 more than a PlayStation 5. A current gen system. So it's hard for me to recommend it at this time. Although obviously with a Mister you can emulate multiple consoles. So if you think of it that way, then it's a pretty good deal. I think the next easiest retail console to allow you to emulate well is the Steam Deck, which gets you closer into a more budget realm, but certainly not a budget system. I don't know. I get exhausted on emulation and how to do it. It's just every time you want to try to emulate on a new platform, it seems like there's so many inconvenient steps. And so much incredibly poor documentation on how to do it all. I think I do eventually want to try to run some emulation on the Series X. The emulation's, I think pretty well documented and fairly easy on the Steam Deck, and you can get some good results. Obviously, not as perfect as something like a Mr. FPGA, but still pretty damn close. Close enough for, I think, most people to not necessarily care about if maybe a sound emulation isn't quite right. But maybe things that only a long-time Mega Drive user would notice. Same thing with the Super Nintendo. There's pretty good emulation out there for the Super Nintendo. But depending on the game and how particular you are, how sensitive you are on the changes, you may notice some things aren't quite right. I get that occasionally with the PC Engine emulation, where I just like, yeah, it's not quite right. It's not quite the sound that it made, but in exchange for the ability to play, right? Getting a PC Engine now or a TurboGrafx or a Turbo Duo can be pretty challenging. Something that's working and that works in your region. He doesn't have restore at all, huh? Okay, with that being said, why don't we stop it here? This is audap. You've been watching Phantasy Star 4, the end of the millennium, running on the Mega Drive, or what would be known as the Genesis in North America. Yeah, I mean, I think now that I've set my expectations on this game correctly, that I can enjoy it, versus when this game first came out. And I was heavily into the Final Fantasy series. Going from Final Fantasy to a Phantasy Star game is night and day. The philosophies behind all all the level raising and the equipment, I mean, they're completely different, which is, how it should be. Different series should have different ways to do things, and different balances on how much random battles and how much grinding you have to do. But now that we look at it now, I think this is about as well balanced as it can be, with the exception of a couple different portions of the game. But the same can be said of Final Fantasy as well. And certainly a far cry from Final Fantasy or Phantasy Star 3, which I still think is quite a disastrous game. I know that game has a small number of fans, but I don't suggest anybody go back and play that game. That is certainly, in light of Phantasy Star 1, 2, and 4, 3 is just one of those games that just really sticks out as the lowest quality game, even versus 1. But this one is certainly the best. It's the last of the classic RPGs for the Phantasy Star series. It doesn't look like Sega will ever revisit this kind of formula for Phantasy Star, which is good and bad. But this is what we got for this kind of game for this series. So check it out if you have some means to do so. I think it's worth your time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.